Yep, we're rolling.
Hi.
And action. So, are you gonna tell them what we're doing, or shall I?
Well, you wanted to do it. So
Yeah, I
think
kind of
you
did.
Nate wanted to do this.
Yeah, so I've been sitting here while Lee's been ordering things to put in these, what do you call them? Care packages?
Care packages, yeah.
Yeah.
Mystery boxes.
Yeah, so the exciting care package of mystery is being put together. And I've been trying really hard not to eat the contents of it, because there are a lot of things in here that I really like.
Failing a little bit.
Yeah, I did fail a bit. Some of it was very nice. But you did buy a couple of extras because you kind of knew that was going to happen, so that was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like talking to Lee about what's in these things, and you know, reminiscing a bit. 'Cause some of this stuff is from when I was a kid, and I was talking about what some of it reminds me of and things, and I thought, well, maybe we could do a video and I can talk about some of these things, and maybe it's interesting, maybe it's not. Feel free to tune out now and scroll on, but I don't know, maybe it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I picked things that as an American I know you guys won't have, but Nate has more of the backstory. I just think they're weird because we don't have them in America, but
Yeah.
Nate knows more about, like, if they're old English candies or sweets, or if they're sort of more modern. Do they remind him of a certain place where you would get these things?
Yeah, that kind
So
of
we
thing.
thought it would be kind of fun, and Nate likes making videos to talk about all this stuff in a little bit more context than just like, here's a bag of random
Yeah,
crap.
here's some mystery
enjoy
items
it.
without anything behind it.
So-
Yeah, and I really enjoyed hearing from Lee about what these mean to you and what's weird about them.
Yeah.
Because some of them are like stuff that you've got, but it's a weird shape or in a funny bag or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was interesting to me. So shall we have a look and see
If you
what's in
haven't
there?
opened your box yet, don't watch this.
Yeah, spoiler alert, stop watching.
Wait until you open your box. And we're going to go through most things, but when you get your box, you might have a couple of extra things in it, or maybe you didn't get all of these things in it, because I made a couple of different boxes for a couple of different people, and depending on what was in there, not everything fit.
Yes.
So
and I may steal some of these items at the end of the video when Lee's not looking.
So if there's something we talk about that you didn't get and you desperately want, you'll have to tell me.
Yes.
And there also might be stuff that isn't here that you don't know what the hell it is. So
Yeah.
this
Feel
is
free
the world's worst video of an unboxing, because
Yeah.
it may or may not be what's in your box. Is basically what we're saying.
You can email me if there's anything that's missing.
Right. So do we want to start with savory stuff and then we can get into the sweet stuff?
I think we should do sweets first and then
Oh.
we'll get to the savoury stuff. 'Cause there's a lot
Shockingly,
of
we
sweets.
don't agree on anything. You want to start with these?
Tonics. These were
I
in...
feel like I should be a YouTuber and do this.
Yeah. Is it focusing? Let's do
it
the
focusing?
behind the camera focus thing. Behind the product, I mean.
Tonics tea cakes.
Yeah, tonics. So these are ancient. These are really, as far as I'm concerned, really, really old. And my nan, when she was alive, she would always bring these out on a little tray. She would do tea and bring out a teapot and a tray, and there was a teapot and a couple of cups, and there were always tonics on there, and that was the to tiny Nate, that was the best thing about going and seeing my nan.
What's tea cakes?
Sooner or later, tonics were
Big
going to
love for
happen. So yeah,
These are England's response to s'mores. S'mores are not a thing that England does around fire, campsite, whatever. It's
No.
not a thing, but this
Never
is
heard of them.
basically as close as you can get to a s'more in this country. The other thing that you can't get in England is graham crackers. They don't do like honey-made graham crackers, no graham cracker crust in pies. But this does have like a oaty kind of cracker.
Yeah, it's got a base in it, hasn't it? As
So
you've seen.
this is as close as you can get really to a s'more in the UK.
Right, I'll put those over here with me. Nice and
No, you
safely
can just hand
in my-
everything
in
back
my
to me,
belly.
that's This is a quick one. These aren't that.
Jelly men. Jelly men.
Yeah,
Ah.
I didn't get the original, so the real ones are
So-
called Jelly Babies.
Yeah, they're not just they're an institution
Jelly
in
babies,
England.
yeah.
Jelly babies, that was the go-to when I was small. Yeah, and they're Bassett's. Yeah, Bassett's are like
Yeah.
one of our biggest old school. They were the biggest sweet company with this kind of sweet. We have Cadbury's. You heard of Cadbury's?
Yeah, we have Cadbury's, but Cadbury's here is
Good.
far different. It's delicious and actual chocolate, not
Garbage
like
chocolate.
cocoa fat and
Yeah. What is that
whatever.
Hershey's stuff?
Yeah, no,
I don't even know what that
can't eat
stuff
it
is.
anymore. It's ruined.
No. So yeah, I thought it was hilarious because these have been rebranded as Jelly Men.
Little
Little Jelly Men.
instead of Jelly Babies.
Why do you think that
Because
is?
eating Jelly Babies is fucking weird.
Because that's not weird to us. That's what they're supposed. That is a jelly baby. They haven't changed the design. That
They
is
haven't
just a jelly
changed the
baby.
design. It's the same as Jelly Babies, which to me, that's why I think
Yeah,
it's
and you were like, that's
bizarro
creepy.
to eat.
Why are you
small
eating small
babies.
children?
Yeah,
So we've got Jelly Men.
we've got Little Jelly Men.
Yeah, the politically correct.
Politically
can
correct
be.
version of that.
Right, what's next? What's next? What's next? Oh, these are another Haribo. Haribo isn't that isn't as established in the UK as it is in other countries. This is recent. The Haribo
More
brand.
than in America, not as much as on the continent in
Yeah,
Europe,
so
really.
anywhere in Europe, Haribo is the OG of anything that's sort of jelly-ish. And in the UK,
Is
it's
that in
totally
frame
not.
there?
Yeah, the whole of the couch should
Oh.
be. Yeah.
Oh, great.
and their wallpaper on
Welcome
the
to
ceiling.
my
and everything.
sweatpants. Awesome.
The thing I like about these is that they have the rhubarb and custard flavour, which is an old boiled sweet flavour. Now,
Like a hard sweet, like when you go to like Cabela's and you go to the old timey sweets, we have those root beer bottles.
Yeah, root beer bottles, same thing. Yeah, exactly.
That
the
really
same thing.
hard candy. They call them boiled sweets here. That might be what we call them in America. I just don't know.
Yeah, so rhubarb and custard was one of the first like legitimate fruit flavours, the like real life flavours that they could do, and they did that as a hard candy here.
Yeah.
So the texture of these is weird to me. I don't really get that, but the flavour is really old school.
And
Really
custard
took me right
is
back.
on almost every sweet pie.
yes.
It's like vanilla. It's like thin vanilla pudding. I really like to eat custard with a spoon, which is frowned upon, but you can't get pudding. Like a pudding cup, like a snack pack, not happening in
No,
the UK.
we don't do that like creamy pudding that you just eat. It's like, what am I supposed to be putting this on?
Right. So the
Um,
custard in rhubarb and custard is that sort of like, instead of whipped cream, you would pour sort of hot, thin vanilla pudding on top of pie.
Yeah, rhubarb crumble is what this to
Crumble,
me
yeah.
would have been a crumble. Do you have crumble? Would
Yeah.
you know what a crumble is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have rhubarb crumble?
I don't know. We have rhubarb pie.
Is that a full
Strawberry rhubarb in a
pastry
pie.
all round?
More we have apple crumble in New England. But I would imagine that somebody makes rhubarb crumble, just probably not in my family.
Does your apple crumble have a base? Because ours is
No.
often a tin with crumble on the top and that's it. It
Yeah.
doesn't have like pastry
Yeah,
under it.
no, it doesn't have pastry under it. It's
Right.
just big pieces of
Pretty
fruit.
much the same thing.
We'll
then.
be here all day.
Yeah, we will be here all day. Hope
This
you're
one is-
comfortable.
This one isn't really anything except
No,
it's
no
really
idea with that.
weird.
That's
this
new,
is
weird.
kind of like a cow tail, only orange.
It's really nice.
So
I
it's
stole one of
chewy on the outside with like a creamy center. I really miss cow tails. Also don't have those here. But this kind of reminds me of like a thick cow tail. You don't even know what a cow tail is, but
That meant nothing.
the world will never know.
No. These, keep them away from me. I can go through kilos of these.
These are
things.
really, really good. These
Yeah.
are like,
These have the most pleasing texture
Yeah.
of any sweet that I've ever had.
and you can get them in balls like these. You can get them in short little sticks. You can get them in like flat little, almost like toffee sized bits. And they're kind of like Starburst, only with a better,
They've got like a crispy shell.
yeah,
haven't
it's got
they?
like a crunchy shell
So
on them.
satisfying.
Oh, here's one of your favorites.
Oh yeah, I'm addicted to these. These are like you have something similar to this.
Yeah,
that's
but they
square.
they won't know what those are really old timey.
Ah, I see. So these are
Yeah.
lavender flavoured?
Mhm.
Yeah, these are lavender flavoured. A lot of people go, oh, they taste like
Like
soap.
soap.
Yeah, everyone's like, you like soap sweets.
They taste like old ladies and soap.
Old lady, you go
Like
around,
that perfume.
like you go around,
Baby
when you
powder.
lick an old lady,
If you lick a freshly cleaned.
old
old
person, they taste like this.
Yeah.
And I find that really appealing.
Nate loves them.
I could
think
eat
they're-
kilos
I
of
think
these.
they're
The ones
disgusting.
you have, the lavender sweets that you have, the little square ones, are way better. So these have been somewhat spoiled for me because I had a packet of those and they're way stronger than these. And I had a retail box of them over the space of a day and a half.
For your birthday one year.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
my birthday
You
gift.
can get those. I don't remember what they're called. It starts with an E or something. But I got them at Ace Hardware Store. They have them
The
on like
hardware stuff.
yeah, they have them at the like impulse buy right at the counter because remember Ace Hardware stores have like the old. They're kind of old school. So they're like the old.
Is that the old spit and sawdust sort of
Yeah.
hardware stuff?
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
it smell good?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I hate that about the modern hardware stores. They don't smell good anymore. Millions. Yeah, we had these. These are fairly recent-ish. Had these in my teens. They were our version of Nerds. They're not quite the same.
They're not the same.
No, these are. If you get a bunch of them together, you can like chew them
Yeah,
into
they
a sort of
stick
chewy sweet.
Very sticky in your mouth.
I
and
like
on
them
your
a
cheek.
lot. Yeah.
And this is something else that they do quite a lot in the UK that I haven't seen very often in America is Millions particularly, but all of these candies. If you go to just like what we have here called a Wilco's, which is similar to
Used to be a hardware store.
used
but
to
it's
be a hardware
more
store,
diverse.
similar to like yeah, I guess
You
like
guess-
an Ace or like a 7-Eleven type place.
Yeah, it's sort of a cross between the hardware place and you can get sandwiches, like pre-packed sandwiches.
Like
but
Rite
you
Aid
can-
a little bit. Like Wilco's will have basic paint, basic kitchen supplies,
garden hoses,
hoses,
garden bits,
basic toiletries.
Yeah.
So like anything
washing powder.
basic that you need, they will have there. And there's a lot of stores kind of like that in the UK. We don't do specialty stores as much. We
No.
do sort of like more.
You've got to have a
You've gotta
bunch
have
of
a bunch of
things
stuff.
for sale.
And they do something called pick and mix, which I've seen in America in the
Cinema?
movie theater.
Yeah.
But never really just at a store where you get like a cup or a bag and there's all the different candies in little like plastic things or you open and you take the little claws and grab out what you want.
I just realised what shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah.
I'll cover the bum belt. There we go.
This is just our normal life. I just dyed my hair and he's having
Yeah.
a fuck you.
I had a
shirt on.
haircut, so I put on an old shirt.
So the Millions will be like this tower of different colors, blue, pink, purple, whatever, with little spouts coming off the bottom, and you take your pick and mix cup and like you can mix all of the different things, and then you can add some Haribo in, you can add some Mauem in, you can add everything in, and then you have a cup and you go to the register and you pay, you know, £8 or whatever it is for the cup. And the Millions, like, the displays are like, you know, 7 foot tall with all these different colors coming out. It's something that you see a lot.
Yeah, it
in
is.
the
Pick and
UK.
Mix was even bigger years ago. We had a Woolworths store. You had a Woolworths
We
store.
have
didn't you?
Woolworths, yeah.
Yeah, so Woolworths, half of the front of the store was Pick and Mix. There were hundreds of different things. Do you have a Quality Street alternative? Like a tin of sweets that you get at Christmas?
Maybe a tin of a. See, I'm too British
Stuff,
now that
stuff.
I can't remember.
Ah.
We didn't in our family. Yeah, what was that yellow box?
A yellow box.
Yeah, the yellow box of mixed chocolates that you get at Christmas time. You'll know what I mean, and everybody saves the boxes and you
Yeah.
fill your box with like buttons and stuff afterwards.
So our Pick and Mix was, if that has 10 different sweets in it.
But they're
and there's
not
some that you-
individually wrapped.
Oh no, that's different. No.
So Quality Street is a tin, an actual tin that you get that has individually wrapped chocolates. You see them
And they're
all
all
over
different.
the offices and any Christmas parties and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
people will take the tins and actually like regift them with other things in it. But
Yeah.
everyone has a favorite chocolate
Yeah,
in Quality
and
Street.
everyone has one of them you won't want. so the pick and mix used to be so big that they would just buy containers of individual ones and you could fill up a...
You get a whole box
Yeah.
of blues or a whole box of oranges.
I don't know how true this is. Pick and mix was exclusively done in paper bags when I was small. So you take a paper bag, fold it out, and go around and put it in. They're now in transparent cups because apparently in certain stores people were taking the pick and mix bag and like filling it with expensive items from the store, like small things, and then weighing it out as pick and mix. So you go to the
That's
counter and
smart.
pay like $1.99 for 50 quid worth of, I don't know,
Watch
razor
or whatever,
blades or
yeah.
a watch or something. Yeah, craziness.
So that's Millions.
Yeah,
They're
that's
very
it.
good. Here's another.
Yeah,
interesting.
this is from my childhood. These have been around since forever. They disappeared for a while, and then the resurgence through the internet. I think a lot of people were asking for classic sweets from my childhood, and these came back. And these were one of the few that not only came back, it made it into all of the stores. And I love this stuff. I don't know what this it's like. I think it's bicarbonate.
Chalk.
Yeah.
It's chalk flavored.
Chalky and bicarbonate-y. Yeah, I really like that stuff. I
We
can eat a lot
have
of
these are kind of like they're called love hearts. We have
Do you have anything with messages on?
yeah. That's not salutation hearts. There's something like that. You can get these sweetheart versions, which are tart. The tart ones, those were always my favorite. This is not tart like that. And then the other ones are kind of chalky. That's more like this is, but this is a lot harder. If we had those original like hearts that you got as a kid for Valentine's Day that you would like pass around in the little like almost like a cigarette box shaped thing, they sort of squish in your mouth when you bite them. These will crack. They're harder. They're more like I don't know. That's why I put them in here because I think they're weird.
Yeah, they are weird. They are weird. Even I can appreciate that. What's these ones? Fizzers. These used to have a totally different name. They were called these. Yeah, these are a
The original
knockoff.
fizzy sweet.
Yeah, when we had these, they were called
Refreshers.
refreshers. Yeah.
But I think this is the original and Refreshers is the knockoff.
Maybe it is. Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, and Swizzlers.
Yeah.
They are a really old school company. They've been around. I don't know who owns them. They're probably Nestle or something.
Probably.
But they're really old fashioned. Love seeing that on things.
These have baking soda in them. That is something that you see a lot in England. Refreshers that we're talking about, where you have candy that you eat it and it foams
Slightly
in
yeah.
your mouth.
Makes your mouth water as well.
It's not like Pop Rocks, but we don't have any foamy
Yeah, it's sort of
foaming
gently
candy.
foaming.
But it does like it will froth. They're not bad.
So good.
If you get them and
yeah.
they froth in
Love
your
those
mouth,
as
they're
well.
not
That's
broken.
really good. What's next? What's next? Curly Whirly. Yeah, these were huge.
These
were all
are
over
kind
the
of they kind of go
Yeah,
together.
so these two go together. This is basically this one, but with air holes in it, as you all see. So you paid, the two of these were, this was cheap. This was like 10p when I was a kid. No, it was 9p when I was a kid. And this one was 25p, and we quickly worked out that you were getting like 16 pence worth of air by buying that one. But we often bought that one because kids are like, well, this one's bigger and it takes longer to eat. So I absolutely love these. They have just the right level of squidge and chewy. They're like chewy caramel, which we really couldn't do here. We've never been able to do chewy caramel that's got this consistency. This was so amazing when it came out. You got this on top of Mars bars and this. And that was it, on a Twix bar as well.
Snickers.
Yes, yeah, on those. But you had to have all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, I just want the stuff that's on the top, that caramel.
Mm.
And then you buy caramel sweets, and they were really hard and stick to your teeth, and they were awful. So when this came out, we all went completely nuts. And
this is also a good example of cheap chocolate.
cheap. This is the lowest quality
25p.
stuff for
So
kids who don't know
25p
anything.
is like, what, 10 cents? So this is super cheapy garbage chocolate that is way better than any cheapy garbage chocolate. Like, compare just the chocolate bit to a Reese's peanut butter cup and just the chocolate that's in this. That chocolate in the Reese's will start to taste like kind of waxy and chewy.
Mm.
This stuff would actually melt if you put it in your hand. You'd get chocolate in your hand. That doesn't happen to cheap, shitty American chocolate. So it's a good example of like, this isn't a nice thing. This isn't like a fine chocolate that you go and get. This is just crappy.
Yeah, it's crap for the kids.
Yeah.
It really is. And when I was at school, so here's school, when I refer to school, that's from 11 years to 16 years old. We had a thing called a tuck shop, which was sort of tacked onto our canteen. Our canteen cooked and sold low-end food.
Cafeteria.
And, yeah. And but at the end of that, they had a thing where you could buy sweets, and I think it was once a month they had a delivery. And we always used to go and ask for the chomp bars. Like, do you have any chomp bars? That and some crisps that we'll get to soon. So yeah, that's a pretty cool one.
The other thing that I don't have here, but you might have that's kind of similar to this, is fudge stick.
Yeah, I thought you had those.
They might be in, I don't know where
You
they're.
might have eaten those.
I might have eaten them. But fudge stick is another example of like cheap, really sweet, sugary, chocolatey.
They're good. Yeah, chomps and fudge bars were always together. Oh yeah, this stuff. What is this?
Nougat.
Nugget.
Nougat.
Nugget. Even I can see that's nougat, but here it's nugget.
Nougat.
It's one of them nugget bars.
Nugget bars, yeah. Say it with a Lincolnshire accent.
Nugget. Yeah, mate, get some of them nuggets.
There you go.
Yeah, this was the only place I could get these as a kid, coming from the villages of Lincolnshire, which is pretty barren on a good day. Once a month we would go for swimming lessons, and the vending machine had these.
At the pool.
Yeah, and that was the only reason I ever went swimming, was to get one
And
of
these
these.
are really in there because these are still one of your favorite.
I love those. I can eat a
favorite
lot
things.
of these. Again, they're not. I don't find these super sweet. As
These
sweets
aren't as
go.
sweet as like the chomp bars and
No.
stuff like that. Another one of your favorite.
Yep, another one of my favourite. This is like the list of my favourite
Flumps.
things. Flumps. Flumps.
Flumps is marshmallow, but it's not marshmallow.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
try
know.
to describe it to people, and I don't know how to do it. It's like a light, very light marshmallow that's not quite.
It's not quite right. It's
No.
just not quite right. And marshmallows, another fun fact about the UK. Marshmallows, very hard to come by. Again, think no s'mores. So you don't, and also
Those
no.
big ones? That
So
you
yeah,
can't
you
get
can't
them.
get jumbo marshmallows, and they also don't do like sweet potato casserole. So and hot chocolate's not really much of a thing here. So you don't get the minis, the little mini marshmallows.
No.
And most marshmallows in England are pink. So when you go and buy a bag of marshmallows, you usually get a mix
Pink
of
and
pink
white.
and white.
Yeah.
So if you ever wanted to melt them down to make like Rice Krispie treats, they turn this really
Oh yeah.
gross, sort of dull pink, like putting margarine or butter into a slightly melted pink thing turns it sort of a wacky pink gray shade. It's terrible. They always look disgusting. So marshmallows, that's another just kind of like fun UK fact that this, I think, product is a thing because marshmallow here in general is pretty not common.
No.
Otherwise, I think people would just go get marshmallows and eat them. But
Yeah.
since that's not a thing. Now I got this, which is not really your thing.
Yeah, no, this one I don't know. I think this is much more popular with the older generation than me, And more so, what you find a lot of here, despite the fact that the country is really small, different regions have wildly different candy.
Very true.
Very, very different. So
Yes.
I would look at that and say Yorkshire, but
Yes.
I honestly don't know.
Also, I just got this because licorice in general is a lot bigger here than in America. Black licorice flavored, aniseed flavored things. It's not massive here, but there is a candy called Licorice All Sorts, which
Oh,
I
they're good.
couldn't get you a small bag of. They only sell them in
Yeah, like
massive
kilo bags.
which is
good,
basically a
though.
licorice flavored candy. And it's not something that I saw a lot of living in New England, but it's a really common flavor here and very common in Europe. They have drinks, they
Yeah.
have cocktails,
In-
candies.
In the Netherlands.
The Netherlands
Oh
is-
my goodness.
yeah, huge for it.
If you grew up in the Netherlands, your daily diet would include a kilo of licorice.
I also got this for you. Again, this
Buttons.
is just like really classic chocolate. Cheap
Yeah.
chocolate. Dairy milk is something you see everywhere. When I first got here, I got a dairy milk fruit and nut bar, which is just like a chocolate bar with little slivers of almonds and like some raisins and stuff in it, and my head exploded because the chocolate was so good. So this is just so you can have a fun comparison between
Crap chocolate here.
really crap chocolate here and you know, like Hershey's anything. And then we have a couple of these assorted little toffee treats.
Don't know these. Yeah, I don't know these.
I got these for you guys mostly. You do know them. You ate some of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know them previously.
What did you
I know
think
them
about
now. I thought these were amazing because, not because of what they are, this kind of stuff
Yeah.
is really common here.
This is a Mawemi actually kind of
Yeah.
soft toffee, but it's not
I don't know what
stretchy.
it's made of.
So it's, again, in England, saltwater taffy or taffy in general is not a thing. So Laffy Taffy, you can't get that here.
No.
This is kind of the closest to taffy that I think that you guys have, but I
It's
don't.
not as good. It's not as good. Again, the thing I don't like about these things is the texture. You do the saltwater taffy, and that nails the softness.
It's a bit harder.
Yeah, and it gets stuck to your teeth. It pulls your fillings out.
Yeah.
Do you have fillings? Don't put this anywhere near them. It will have them out. My favourite, what I love about these though, is they've really nailed the pudding flavours. So these are called puds.
Pudding's a British word for dessert. If you
oh,
don't
dessert,
know.
yeah.
So like pudding, again, in England they don't have actual pudding, chocolate pudding.
Yeah, not that stuff.
But
Not that
pudding
stuff.
refers to any dessert. So a cake is a pudding, a pie is a pudding.
A cake you wouldn't call a pudding. Pudding you serve with custard usually, so it'd be like.
But when you go to a restaurant, they have the like appetizers, mains.
They call that desserts on the menu.
No,
Yeah, they do.
no. When you go to the Fox and Hounds, it's labeled with puddings.
No, that's bollocks.
It's not bollocks. It's
It's
true.
like- So the not cake pudding flavours that they've done here are really accurate. They taste just like them. Apple pie and custard, you'll know. Sticky toffee pudding. Oh, that's so good. Talking about when I was a kid.
That's just caramel on cake.
Yeah, but pretty much. It's soaked. It's
Yeah.
like they make something that tastes like
Sponge, yeah.
toffee and then sponge it up. It's so good.
Lemon meringue.
Lemon meringue you have.
And then
I think.
back to the rhubarb crumble again.
Yeah, rhubarb crumble.
And
That's
then
really
I
good.
got you these because I see them everywhere.
Yeah, can you slide them out?
Yeah,
You can usually slide them out.
yeah.
Yeah, these are new. These were so expensive when I was a kid. These were like $1 million. Yeah, so it's pizza sweets. Yep, there we go.
Sorry, we had a dead camera moment, but we're
Yeah.
back now. Okay, we were talking about these.
Yes, pizza things.
And you were saying something about
Yeah, I was saying they used to be stupidly expensive, and I nagged my parents.
Oh, and
endlessly
I've never
for it.
eaten one.
No, they're
Have
not.
you-
No, yeah, I think I did like once. No. These are really good. Yeah, really, really like these. I like to crunch them, which drives some people nuts.
Got you a couple of flavors.
Yeah, again, real retro stuff, these.
These are very similar to like Tootsie Roll Pops, except with no Tootsie Rolls in it. I don't know what this is. Is this like a foamy thing, or is this a normal thing?
No, it tastes a lot like Refreshers, but I don't
Right.
think it has the foam thing going on.
Okay. Alright, so
Yeah.
we're off to, that's all the candy.
Yep, that's the end of the candy.
And I've gotten you a couple of different crisps, not chips, crisps.
Crisps.
Obviously these take up more space than the candy, so we're a little bit limited, but I tried to get you a couple flavors.
Probably my favourite flavoured anything when it comes to crisps is Spike. This sort of stuff. I don't know what this stuff is made out of. I think it's sort of potato that's aerated.
Yeah.
And then cooked. But a lot of stuff was made like this. And the spicy tomato flavour is easily my favourite. When I was at school, there were two of these that you could get from the tuck shop. One of them was called Tangy Tom's, which was the...
Tangy Tom's is
they
the
are
best.
the OG of...
Tangy Tom's is so,
Oh.
they're so good.
So good.
They're like those cheese balls you get in the big plastic tubs, only it's not cheese. It tastes like tangy ketchup. Like really good, tangy,
Oh, so
strong
good.
ketchup, but they're the little balls.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're really good. And you just sit there just because they squish down to like actually no material. at
Yeah,
all.
there's nothing in that bag. And at the tuck shop, they were sold for 5p a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were pretty amazing. They actually had another flavour. Back in the innocent old days of my youth, they had two different packs. It was the same packet with the same these same little ball-shaped crisps, and one was cheese flavour, one was tomato
Wow.
flavour. And the tomato ones were called Tangy Toms, and the cheese flavour ones were called Duncan's Cheesy Balls.
Yes.
With a picture of very happy Duncan on the front, giving a big old thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were good. These are definitely a unique flavor. They're kind of like ketchup flavored, but more than that, they're weirdly shaped. So I feel like in America we don't do a lot of this. We have more like potato chips, and then you have maybe Cheetos, but there aren't a lot of like weirdly shaped chip type products. In the UK, we also don't do really tortilla chips. So
Yeah, they're new, they are.
they're new here, so you don't have like a whole aisle with different flavored of tortilla chips. You have just crisps like this. So I wanted to get you something that wasn't just a potato chip, but was actually more of these like differently shaped, usually potato, not usually corn. Corn is not a big thing here. I struggle every year to get corn on the cob to try to make it at least once or twice because corn isn't really grown here. So it's usually potato or wheat based.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of corn-based anything,
Yeah,
to be honest.
and in tons of different little shapes. So these are like little squares, but they can see swear words.
They can't. They haven't seen anything.
Okay, right.
They haven't seen. It's still. We can still be
They're
monetized.
adults.
We can still be
We're
monetized.
never getting monetized. So yeah, so this is just really, really common. You see tons of different kinds of like snack foods that are in weird and different shapes and
Yeah.
are potato or wheat based or whatever.
How can we make the same 10 flavours and same ingredients appeal
Like
to
we'll
different people?
bake this one,
We'll make
we'll
it into
puff
different
it,
shapes.
well, but sadly, two huge things are missing in this country, which they don't have, which are goldfish and Teddy Grahams. Those two types of snacks never made it here.
And those animal biscuits.
Animal crackers.
Animal crackers, that's not a crisp, I know, it's not savoury, but oh, they
Yeah.
good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to bring a kilo of those back.
Walker's prawn cocktail. Prawn as in shrimp.
Walker's, oldest crisp company in England, I think.
So
Maybe
these-
that's
yeah.
Snips.
These are
Not the
proper
Snips.
like potato
Yeah, slices of potato.
chips, potato crisps. They are supposed to taste like shrimp cocktail. That's another thing you obviously get here is a lot more. I think England kind of has a reputation for meat flavored
Meat flavoured stuff,
things.
yeah. You get roast chicken crisps, they're really good.
Roast chicken,
Yeah.
peppered steak and gravy.
Yeah, lamb and
lamb
something
and
or
mint.
yeah, lamb
Flavored
mint, they're
chips.
good. Beef and mustard's
This
good.
is another one of the not potato chip. These are like little hoop things, and they taste like beef.
Yeah, it's kind of, I think, did we say it's made with Marmite?
It's
type
more
stuff?
mostly Marmite. I did not bring you Marmite because it's so expensive to ship it. But Marmite
Yeah.
is big here. It's a yeast extract. If you don't
Oh, we
know what
don't
it
have
is.
Marmite.
Mm-mm.
Really?
I've
No.
never seen it in America.
You have Vegemite?
No, that's Australian.
Huh. That stuff's good.
Marmite is Carolyn, who will maybe watching this, always brings a ton of Marmite home, Marmite and cheese. And if you do have Marmite, try it with peanut butter. Surprisingly delicious combination.
Oh, it's good.
But so a lot of these beef and meat flavored snacks are made with yeast extract, which is what Marmite is,
Meaty
and gives
beef
that
flavour.
like deep brown sort
Really
of meaty
good.
beef flavor.
Yeah, love these. Absolutely love these. Monster
And
Munch.
these
yeah.
are pickled onion flavor.
Yeah, big flavour here.
Pickled onions you see at a lot of pubs on the counter or behind the pub.
Yep.
I actually don't think these taste like pickled onions. I think they just taste like Funyuns, which is like onion rings, tangy onion rings. I don't know that they taste like pickled
Yeah.
particularly, but this is another good example of like
I think what they do,
shaped snack.
we have onion flavoured stuff, and with these they put more vinegar. So it's like salt and vinegar crisp with onion. I think is probably something about where they are.
But these are a corn snack, which you don't get a lot, and these are in like little monster.
Yeah, and you used to get low flaming hot flavours the best. And then we used to do another one which was called, do you get Transformer snacks?
I don't know what that is.
So Monster Munch, when you eat those and you check them out, we used to have, again, a desperate attempt to make something marketable, exactly this same substance, and the same way of cooking it and all that sort of stuff, was Transformer snacks. And each one was like a little stick man, and then you got some rings. And the rings shape you could stick on his legs and turn him into a little car that you could drive around.
No, we did not
They
get
were
those.
kind of shit.
That is my thing about England, where everything's smaller and kind of shit.
Yeah, we do a grand job with kind of shit.
Yeah,
I think we're world leaders in kind of shit.
pretty naff, yeah.
Yeah.
And these are our last three
Oh,
here,
these are
and
good.
I saved these for last because I think they're the most interesting
They're the weirdest
thing
by a
in
mile.
here.
Yeah.
Both because of how they taste and because of where they are purchased and how these are normally sold.
If you are, one thing I learned in my travels around the world was that these, particularly these, don't know about the other two. I think bacon flavour crisps you can get in some places.
But it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
But the
And you can get
scampi
crackling.
fries.
Yeah.
Take these, as an English guy, always take like a multi-pack of these with you, and anytime there's a lull in conversation, throw a couple of bags of these in, and watch people eat them and go, what the hell is this? What is this? Like reading the bag, and yeah, it's really good.
What the hell is this is an accurate description.
Yeah, really accurate.
These are like shrimp and lemon flavored little snacks. Very, very strongly flavored.
That is because, we should say
Yeah.
where these are aimed for, these are pretty much exclusively, when I was a kid, you couldn't buy them anywhere except the pub. You could only get these in the pub. And they are exclusively marketed to have with beer.
When you go, one of the first pubs that we went to together, it was next to a canal, really old school pub. A lot of the pubs, especially the older ones, don't have a kitchen.
No,
So it's not like
no,
when you
no.
think of going to a bar where you might even be able to just like rustle up some fries or some nachos
No.
or something.
No.
There's nothing. It's like someone's living room
Yeah.
that they opened a bit of a pub in because they were broke.
Some of the pubs I grew up with when I was at school, and we did start drinking when we were still at school.
So how old would you have been?
I'd have
15?
been 14,
14.
15, something like that. So on a Friday, we used to go out into the sticks away from the village, and there was a lady there who just had a big old house that was pretty much tumbling down, and her front room was our bar, and that was it. And anyone could come in, the local farmers and stuff would come in, we'd all sit in her front room, and her husband had made a bit of a bar at one side, and they had an old jukebox they got from somewhere, and a pool table, and that's what we did. That's where we went.
And these hang up just like they kind of do in the store, so there'll be like a little display on sort of the side of the bar, hanging up behind the register. And you buy just a bag of chips because they don't have anything else. So nowadays in some of the other bars or pubs, you do get full bags of crisps like this.
Yeah.
And I've only seen these in really old school, divey kind of rundown, you know, fire with the dog sleeping in front of it and 6 old men who are there every day kind of a pub.
The best kind of pub.
Which are the best kind of pub. And where we always try to go on our motorcycles, we camp at a lot of these pubs because they have a lot of
good people,
land and really good people. And that is where you will get these. I had to scrounge a bit to find these for you guys, but I think they are one of the coolest, very most traditionally English, very strong,
salty and very flavored.
Very strong flavored, very sort of fatty, but with a beer.
Oh,
fantastic.
With a good ale.
With a good ale. I wouldn't say cold beer because it's probably not going to be cold.
Is that it?
So that's pretty much it. Again, there might be like a couple of other. I think there's some Kinder Eggs in there. You kind of know the deal with that, but that's pretty much it.
Was that worth sitting through?
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I hope you have fun.
Did you make it to the end, or are you? Did you make it, or are you a dirty skipper?
Like or comment below.
Yeah, subscribe
to our
hit
channel
the
for more. Hit the bell. Anyways.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed our little tour of such nonsense, and I hope you enjoyed making your way through them before you watched it.
I can't wait to see all of your videos that you make to accompany the packages you're going to send
me. We want a response video, don't we? We want one of those, and we want a response video. We want to see like American people eating this crazy garbage.
I would love a response video, actually. If you guys are going to open this and try some of this stuff, what you think of it while you're trying it. Sit with your person.
But they won't see this until after they've.
Well, they won't try everything the second
that they
open everything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Maybe we'll get a response.
Maybe we'll get a
That'd
response.
That'd be kind of cool.
It would be fun. Anyway, okay.
That's about it.
Bye, guys.
Fist bump.
See y'all.